When Enron's stock started crashing, the company froze every employee's 401k. 6 weeks. Nobody could sell. Nobody could move a dollar, while the value drained out in front of them in real time. The executives running the company had no such restriction. Some of them had already been selling for months. This is the story of Enron, the 7th largest company in America, worth $70 billion at its peak, and the fall that took 6 weeks to finish what years of lying had already guaranteed. By 2000, Enron wasn't really an energy company anymore. It was a trading company that happened to sell energy, and on paper, it looked unstoppable. Revenue climbing every quarter. Wall Street calling it one of the most innovative companies in America. Employees encouraged again and again to put their retirement savings into company stock, because why wouldn't you bet on a winner? Here's the part that's almost funny if it weren't so expensive. Enron's profits weren't really profits. Under something called mark-to-market accounting, the company could book the entire projected future value of a long-term deal as profit today, the moment the ink dried, whether the deal ever made a real dollar or not. Optimistic guesses counted as cash in hand. But guesses don't pay bills, so when reality didn't match the imaginary numbers, Enron didn't fix the numbers. It hid the gap. CMFO, Andrew Fastow, built a maze of off-the-books partnerships with names like LJ, M, and Raptor, and used them to shove billions in real debt, somewhere the balance sheet would never show it. Nobody outside a handful of executives could really explain how they worked. That wasn't a side effect. That was the plan. One person tried to stop it anyway. Sherron Watkins was a vice president who'd spent months hearing things that didn't add up. In August 2001, she sat down and wrote Ken Lay a memo she didn't even sign her name to. "I am incredibly nervous," she wrote, "that we will implode in a wave of accounting scandals." Then she did something braver. She asked for a meeting, walked into the chairman's office, and read him a line from another employee. "I wish we would get caught. We're such a crooked company." Lay reportedly winced. Within 2 days, Enron's own staff was quietly discussing the consequences of firing her. 2 months later, in October 2001, Enron finally admitted what she'd warned about, disclosing a $1.2 billion hit tied to those hidden partnerships. The stock, which had traded near $90 a year earlier, started falling. And fast. This is where it gets personal. As the price collapsed, Enron locked employee 401k accounts for a scheduled administrative switch, right in the middle of the worst 6 weeks in the company's history. Employees who'd put their retirement into company stock because they'd been told to, watched the number fall every day and could not do one single thing about it. Executives were not locked out of anything. Records later showed Lay had been selling shares for months, cashing out while publicly telling his own 20,000 employees the company's growth had never been more certain. On December 2, 2001, Enron filed for bankruptcy. At the time, the largest corporate bankruptcy in American history. Over $60 billion in market value gone, thousands of jobs gone. More than $2 billion in retirement savings gone, most of it money that had never been allowed to move. Arthur Andersen, the accounting firm that signed off on all of it, didn't survive either. Investigators found employees shredding Enron documents by the box as the scandal broke. The firm was convicted of obstruction and collapsed within months, taking tens of thousands of unrelated jobs down with it. The men responsible mostly didn't walk away clean, but not evenly. Fastow, the architect of the hidden partnerships, pleaded guilty, cooperated, and served 6 years. Skilling was convicted on 19 counts and sentenced to just over 24 years, later reduced to 14. And Ken Lay, who'd winced at a warning and kept selling anyway, was convicted on 10 counts in May 2006. Before he could be sentenced, he died of a heart attack. Under federal law, a conviction voided by death before appeal is simply erased. Ken Lay is not on paper a felon. He is legally nothing at all. But here's who didn't disappear. Sherron Watkins testified before Congress about exactly what she tried to tell Lay in that office. And partly because of what she exposed, Congress passed the Sarbanes-Oxley Act in 2002, forcing executives everywhere to personally sign their name to their company's numbers under oath. The memo nobody wanted to hear became the law that makes every CEO in America accountable for their books today. She lost nothing by speaking up. Everyone who ignored her lost almost everything. So here's the actual shape of this story. It was never really about whether the accounting was too complicated to understand. It was about who got to leave before the doors closed and who was brave enough to say so out loud before anyone would listen. The people who built the lie had the information and the access to walk out early. The people who trusted them got 6 weeks locked in a burning building. And the one person who tried to open a window got ignored, then vindicated, in that order. Shasha, next time somebody tells you not to ask questions because everyone's smarter than you've already checked, remember Sherron Watkins wasn't the smartest person in that building. She was just the one willing to say the thing everyone was already thinking.